the Conquering Mountain Scrapbook with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with step 2 of the Disappearing Pinwheel. Now, this is the Disappearing Pinwheel. This is the quilt we're going to make with all our pinwheels that we've made. And I put in the pattern, how many pinwheels and how many half square triangles and all the rest of that in like step 1. So if you're referencing, you have to pick your size, whether you're making a crib, a couch, a twin, or a queen, and then you make that many half square triangles. But we're having fun with this. So now that we've got all our pinwheels made, we're going to now show you how to cut them, because this is the trick. This is the brilliant little trick. So, but first we get into this, let's do our shout outs. Our shout out is Merry Go Round Quilts, and our second shout out is Deborah at Quilts by the Bay. So excited to have both of these people here as our shout outs this week. Both talented artists and very smart content creators. You know, it's kind of cool and kind of interesting. You gotta go check them out. And when you do, tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mountain Scrapbook sent you. Now we have a whole bunch of things we're going to talk about, and it's all going to be in those show notes. It's so important you guys get into the show notes, because it's kind of there's a whole bunch of stuff we got to talk about here. Now, I'm going to ask you guys to vote on whether or not you want Mayhem, Quilt Bingo 2, round 2, or Green Wednesday. Now, Green Wednesday is a twin quilt we're making with 35 different fun little blocks. Quilt Bingo, if you've been here around here and you found out you played with Quilt Bingo the last time, that was so much fun. But Mayhem's a new sew along, and it kind of involves a bunch of different things. Or you want to do something else. You want to do something a little different, something a little more, not so much foundation paper piecing, not all that kind of craziness. You want just, you know, to have some fun and sit and do some patchwork and use up your scraps. You know, you let me know what you want to do next. Now, you put those comments in the show notes to let me know, right? So, also, our Zoom Sew Days are the first Saturday every month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. Making comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss content. And hype drives our analytics, and it pushes our videos forward so that we can give more quilters fun free patterns 3 times a week. Now, we also, if you're part of the Facebook community, we have a fun Facebook group, and we have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord, which means you have a sew date now that's 24/7. And we have all sorts of fun community chats. We have all sorts of fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down. The admins say, please agree to the rules. Please answer all the questions, because this helps keep that room and that group very safe, just for quilters. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups, so you can find me through the About tab, my email address, or you can message me directly through the Facebook group. Also, shout outs. If you guys find a quilting channel that's working hard and having a good time and is providing interesting content, or they're a really interesting fiber artist, let me know. I'd be happy to add them to our shout out list. I have found so many wonderful people from you guys. That's it. That's from you that we have been finding all these shout outs. So it's a great way to do this. Now, don't tell them you put their name forward for a shout out, because it's a sneaking around and doing something nice for people. That's the kind of thing vibe we're going for. Also, I've been involved with 2 collaborations. The first one I'm going to mention is Back to Basics, and that's being ran by Handmade by Ying with Donna. And she's assembled a group of YouTubers, and we're having so much fun in there. You guys have got to subscribe to all of those people if you don't want to miss content. And we're talking about back to basic videos. Now, this one is geared for the beginners, but if you've been around quilting for a while and you picked up some bad habits, it's a good idea to go back and watch those. You don't want to miss that content, right? Now, the other collaboration is the Quilter Circle Challenge, which involves Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting, Future Cat from New Zealand, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, Sam Alberts, and Deb from Sewing with Debbie. Now, we are just having a blast putting out a theme and challenging each other, and we're also challenging our viewers. So we've seen some beautiful stuff on these themes, and everybody's got a different idea of where their brain goes to when you do that theme thing, right? So what's the first thing that pops into your head? We're having so much fun with that. Now, So is running their charity drive to Alaska, charity quilt drive for Alaskan homeless. So that ends August 15th, and you'll find their YouTube channel and their .com to go get in more information from them, because the only thing I'm doing is advertising their charity drive, right? Because, I mean, that's kind of a fun thing to do for other people, other content creators. Now, the other one I just found out about recently was Orchid Valley Quilt Guild, and it's ran by Shirley Fox as the president, and it's Kelowna, BC. They're looking for 4 to 8 inch unfinished heart blocks, and it's due by October 15th. So if you want to join a Canadian drive, you know, or a challenge or whatever, please send your heart blocks to them, and it's just going to be a fun little challenge. I'm announcing it because I'm hoping that she gets lots of quilt blocks so that they're able to make lots of blocks for their people that are in need of help. So I guess it's also being advertised at Quilt Canada and a few other places there that this is what they're doing. So it's kind of our Canadian charity drive. So, but if Americans want to participate as well, they would love that. They would absolutely love that. That would be so great. So I think we're done. Yes, I think we're done. Come on in. Let's get to cutting for the Disappearing Pinwheel. Now this is really important, and this is the quilt behind me that we're making. So we're at the sewing machine for step 2 here. We're at the sewing machine, but we've got a cutting mat. So I have 4 blocks, right? So 4 different blocks. Yeah, it's different than the one I sewed last week, but remember, we're doing a sample. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of the blocks and just put the other 3 down. Now, my best advice to you, do not sew or try to do more than one at a time, right? I mean, this is the cutting that's going to make everything work and everything come together, and it's kind of important that it be done right. So I gave all of these a press. Now, I have a ruler that's a little bit bigger, and I just want to get past this hinge right here. Ugh, it's always in the way. So now cutting all of them, I cut mine at 3 inch away from the center, right? So you can see 1, 2, 3, and I've got that center line right on this line here, and I'm just cutting it this way. So I'm cutting this just like so. Don't move your block, spin your thing. Well, I have my rotary cutter mat moves by me spinning it, but anyways. And then you cut again by 3. Now that will leave you an uneven 4 patch, just like that. Can you see all of that, right? So you're going to line up all of this in one place, and you're going to line these 2 and this one separately, right? So you've got like 3 piles. You're going to make 3 side piles, and then that big block. So you're going to keep doing this time and time again. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but make sure you're cutting all of them the same, because this can get really messy very quickly, but this works. So I have a funny story. I pulled out all my warm greens. I'm trying to make room in every bin so that the unused fat quarters that I have can go in the bin, as well as the scraps. So there's a lot of fabric floating around my sewing room right now. So I just take this and these 2, this one goes on this side. You just make piles and you line them up. You line them up, make sure they're all going the same way, right? That's what we're gonna do. And take another one. So this is my goal this year. I've got to get through all of that fabrics to make room for the fat quarters and the ones that aren't part of the bin, and all my scraps. So I'm going to be doing a lot of by color, and I'm hoping that I get through the greens at least this year. This task could take on quite a bit more time than I thought it would. But anyways, it's a worthy cause. I'm making charity quilts. You know, it's all good. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not, doing something silly with my time and my energy. Yeah, there it is. And I got a piece of string right in the middle of that. So yeah, some of this neutral has that warm green in it, and I decided, okay, if it's got a warm green in it, it was going. Right? Because that also... So we've got some very old... Oops, what have I done? Wait a minute. I'm gonna go this way, sorry. Sorry! There we go. Oh, don't move, don't move. There. Now, you can cut them any size you want. Just make sure when you're cutting them, cut them all the same. Right? Because that's important, that they all be cut the same. Because you don't want that, you know, to be messed around, right? Okay. So here we go. That's it. So let's get our 4 large squares. I'm just going to put this off to the side so I don't cut myself. Now I'm going to show you how these go together. These are so cute. Just like that. Isn't that slick? Right? Just like that. Now you have your center medallion. So were you just going to sew them together just like a 4-patch? And I'm just going to flip this over just like so. Okay, here we go. And, oops. Now, you line everything up. Again, just take your time lining stuff up. None of the green is going to touch the green. It's always going to touch a low volume. So the first place you line up is at where it goes up, where the angle is here, this angle. So you want to match that the best you can, right? There. Now the next spot you match is this area right here. There we go. And now you match up your corner. Here, now, this goes this way. Okay. There, move that out of the way. And okay, this has got to go this way. There. There. And you want to take your time lining everything up good because you want nice sharp... Ah, look at this! I lost Bob and Chicken and it was sewing so well. That's okay. That's okay. We're fine. We knew that was going to happen eventually here today. So eventually it's going to happen to all of us. We run out of bobbin. We just, like I say, well, at least it wasn't in the middle of sewing like 300 quilt half square triangles together. That would have been awful. You know, have everything line up so perfectly and then have it all fall to the floor. That would have been embarrassing, I must say. There we go. Nice, nest all that up again. And get this all nested. Here. There we go. Come on. Come on, nest. It's kind of an awkward scene to nest for some reason. Okay, now I'm gonna get this all lined up. There we go. And the bigger is on the bottom, so it's going to ease in. Lovely. There, and now, you know, sometimes these just are little hair out, even though it doesn't matter how careful you are in cutting. All right? Okay. There we go. So there, now we just do that center, right? The center. Okay. And we do the same thing along the center. to make that big square. Okay. There we go. Oops, let's get that center one cut so I can get in, really get in there and want to make sure I've got, you know, good nest coming in. And I'm just going to pop that so it goes the right way. There. Not only does it go the right way, it lays flat. That's always a bonus when they lay flat. There we go. And that goes. Come on. There. There we go. Yeah. Not using that 4 at a time method. There's no stretch. There's, you know, like it's not this, all this, you know, distorted edge or anything. You're working with nice clean edges. It's perfect. Okay. And there we go. There we be. Oops. Okay. So that's how you cut and sew that center medallion. Now, I popped this side. I'm going to pop this side as well. And let's see. And I prop these two just to get everything going the right way. And this one here in the middle. So everything now is lying flat because you've got everything popped the way you need it to pop. Just a sec here. There. There we go. This goes down, this goes this way, that goes that way. So now you have this all going the right way. It's going to go to lie flat. And all of these seams here are popped open and swirled just like a 4-patch. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a good press so all the seams are going the right way. And we'll come back for our ta-da moment. Okay, so you saw how we cut this and you saw how we took all the big blocks that we cut out of those pinwheels and we made this block. Now this might not be the block I actually sewed in front of you, but this is where all 4 of them come together, so that's fine. But you do have these pieces, and don't throw them away, don't throw anything away, and this piece, these pieces, these little half square ones. So yes, you keep those for later. You will need these for later. So anyways, I hope you guys are giving this a try. This one was such a fun, fast, quick idea to come up with. And like I say, I call it a weekender quilt because you can actually, you know, if once your cutting is done, you sew them, you cut them again, you sew them again. You know, it comes together really quick. It sounds like a lot, but it's not because the squares, the half square triangles are bigger. You could do this pattern with smaller half square triangles if you want. You just need to make more of them to make, let's say, a twin or a queen or whatever. But this does work, and you do end up with a beautiful graphic quilt when you're done. Now this block fits here, right? You guys can see that? Probably not great, but you can see it. That's where it fits, right? So that it's a little different, Anyways, I hope you have an absolutely amazing week ahead and your 1/4 inch is right on the money and you win bobbin chicken. That would be good. So you guys take care and stay well until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life and, you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.